Howdy howdy ladies and gentlemen, my name is Admin and welcome to an update for the Moar Totems Datapack. This is update 1.2 and today we have 6 new totems that have been added to the pack. And yeah, you heard right, I said 6 and not 5. I know I normally do 5, but these 2 totems here were very similar to each other, so I figured I would bundle them together. Before we jump right into the showcase, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. For some reason, only around 20% of you guys that actually are watching the videos are subscribed, so let's try to change that to 50% of you, or something like that. If half of you guys subscribed, I'd be up to like 50 million subscribers, or something like that. I don't know how math works. Alright, so on with the showcase. We need a custom crafter to get started. That would be a dropper facing upwards, crafting table thrown on top, and you'll see we get our beautiful custom crafter. We can press L to bring up the advancements page, and this will show us the totem crafter recipe. We are going to need this device in order to craft all of the totems in the pack. So what are the 6 new totems? They are the Blast Totem, the Totem of Protection, Totem of Protection 2, the Karma Totem, the Ender Totem, and the Totem of Tnt. That reminds me of a story. One time my friend's car broke down, so we towed him home, sorry, that was really bad. So we can craft our totem crafter with 3 dark oak planks, a crafting table in the middle, emerald block on the bottom, and a totem of undying at the top. Once we have that, we simply need to place all of the items to craft the totems into the grid of that, and it will spit out the actual item that we're wanting. You might have also noticed that I've made a slight change to how the advancement systems work. When you hover over the actual item, you'll see it will give us the description, so it makes you immune to TNT damage, only TNT, not creepers. And then if we hover over the recipe, it tells us 4 TNT, so TNT 4x, and then we have Blast Protection 4, 4x, and Totem of Undying. So that's the recipe here, just in case it's hard to see what the actual items are. For example, you couldn't see that that is a Blast Protection book from the image. So I did that for all of them, and I'm going to be implementing that in some of our packs in the future. Because the recipes do show up in-game, I'm not going to go over them in this video. Let's just jump into the showcase of what the actual totems do. So we can start with the Blast Totem. This cow right here has agreed to help me demonstrate how this totem works. So if we're in survival mode and we die, so that activates the totem, when we land, it will cause an explosion. That explosion will damage nearby mobs around you. You will still regenerate health, though you'll probably have lost some, and the effects are not as strong as a regular totem. So normally a totem would have regenerated my health all the way up to full and given me, absorption for like 40 seconds. This gives it to you for half that time and does not regenerate your health nearly as much. In essence, where the regular totem is a defensive option meant to restore your health as much as possible, this is more of an offensive option for defense. That might sound weird, but what I'm meaning is that sometimes your best defensive option is actually to do an offensive one. So in this case, causing a big explosion might be enough to knock away your attacker, and due to that, it actually works as a good defensive option to help you escape the bad situation that you were obviously in. And, I mean, it causes an explosion, and explosions are cool, so I don't see what's not to like. The next 2 totems are quite similar to each other. The Totem of Protection and Protection 2 are quite similar, in that they both will summon a mob when activated in exchange for giving you worse effects. So we can again activate this, and you'll see we get regeneration for a short time, barely any, and the absorption does not last for all that long. But in return, we have a handy-dandy, very useful, sorry, I cannot say that with a straight face, Snow Golem. This fella here is going to definitely keep you alive, I'm so bad at this. No, it's not that useful. It might serve as a bit of a distraction, but it is a really cheap upgrade to your totem, so maybe it could be useful. What is absolutely more useful is the Totem of Protection 2. This one, when used, will summon an Iron Golem. It's not a full health Iron Golem, it's a pretty low health Iron Golem, but it is still absolutely useful because it can generally deal with whatever hostile mob killed you. If a player was attacking you, this wouldn't work at all because players do not attack Iron Golems. This is a player-spawned Iron Golem, according to the game, so me hurting it does not make it angry at me. Because of that, other players hurting it would also not anger it. But against any hostile mobs, like a husk, it will just wreck it because, well, iron golems are really strong. So, yeah, this is really good against mobs, not nearly as good against players. Of course, the snow golem would do literally nothing against a player, so... Anyway, that is absolutely your decision to make whether or not you would want to use the Protection 2 totem. I think it could be quite powerful in some situations, though you might notice from the recipe, it has... Well, this one is 7 snow blocks. It's at the top here. It is 7 iron blocks, a carved pumpkin, and a Totem of Undying. So that is more expensive than spawning it in yourself, and it comes at about half health. And it also spawns instantly in a situation where you were in trouble. So in most situations, I think this is totally worth having. Just maybe not PvP. Speaking of PvP though, the next totem on the list is the Totem of Karma, and this one is specifically designed for player versus player situations. And by specifically designed for PvP, I mean that it does literally nothing against mobs. Okay, so the Totem of Karma will debuff your killer, or attacker, or whatever. I'm not really sure what you call it when a totem is activated. Anyway, the person that does that to you gets debuffed for 10 seconds with slowness 3 and weakness 2. And I would show this, but I'm in a single player world, so I'm all by myself. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so while I can't really show this totem, you'll just have to trust that it would in fact debuff the player with slowness and weakness. And them having slowness and weakness would make them a really easy target if you wanted to go on the offensive. So the final 2 totems are the Ender Totem and the Totem of Tnt, and these are both very situational, but they can be quite useful when held. It can be in your offhand or your main hand, just like any of the other totems. But you'll see for the Totem of Tnt, it will nullify all TNT damage. So if we grab some TNT and maybe like a lever, activate this, we can go into survival mode, of course. And if we're holding this, you will not take any, no damage. I'm good. You can, of course, still take fall damage, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, this one is pretty good if you have issues. Oh boy, perfect. If you have issues blowing yourself up with like your own TNT while mining or something, or maybe you're fighting an enemy that uses TNT, I don't know. Could be useful, and so that's why I made it. And finally, the Ender Totem helps us out with a situation that is rather rare, but when it does happen, it is the absolute worst. And that would be falling into the void and losing all of your items. This, of course, is very unlikely to happen in the overworld, so let's head to the end. Wait, why am I still here? I snapped my finger. I should be in the end. Come on. Come on! I guess I'll just go and find the stronghold and... Oh, so now you teleport me. So as I was saying, the end totem will save you if you fall into the void. So we're here in the end where it's very easy to fall into the void, and if I do, you'll see it will put me back up onto land. The totem will break when that happens. But as you saw, I didn't take any damage from both the fall or the void. So pretty good. It can save your life and get you out of a bad situation. And it doesn't put you at necessarily the closest piece of land. So here I'm fairly far away from where I actually was. It has a decent radius where it searches. However, suppose I were to like fly couple 100 blocks out this way and then fall, it's not going to find land to actually place me, so I will die. As you can see, it attempted, and now I'm dead. And perfect, I am back where we started. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it, and if you want to make sure to not miss out on future updates to this pack, as well as other data packs that I post pretty much weekly, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys all in the very next data pack showcase video. Thanks so much for watching. Also, you guys are kind of close. Little more personal space, please. Hello, personal. Okay, much better. Goodbye.